Hello YouTube, this is Marcus again with another video. Today's video is going to be a product review. This is the Cobra HH 38WXST. It's a handheld 40 channel AM CB radio. I ordered this because I used to have a little Midland 75-785 handheld CB that I used when I was out walking around in the woods, or if I was, just generally walking around the property and I needed to holler at my wife. I could holler on the handheld. She would hear me here on the base station, and we could communicate locally, especially in spots where maybe the cell phone didn't work very well, and it was a little bit more convenient. I had thought about getting one of these for quite a while, even when I had the Midland, because these have like weather band and dual watch and a couple of additional features that the Midland didn't have. But the Midland was like $20 brand new, and at the local Radio Shack, and this was like $70 or $80. So I didn't bother with buying one of these until the Midland actually tore up. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the overview. Like I said, it's a 40 channel AM only handheld CB radio. It's powered by either 9 AA batteries or by a power cord here that comes with it that you plug into a 12-volt outlet in your car, or if you have a power supply in your house, you can plug it into that as well. It has it can charge the 9-volt or the AA batteries that you put in it. So like if you purchase rechargeable AA batteries, it does have a port on the side where you can plug a power cord in to charge it. However, that is a separate and different power cord than this one. So if you want to use rechargeable batteries in your Cobra 38, you can, but you have to go to Cobra's website and purchase one of these. It's a separate cord with a different size connector on the end, and you can see there's actually a separate jack here on the side labeled charge, and that is the one that you plug in to recharge the batteries while they're in the radio without having to take them out and put them in your regular charger, because like most chargers only hold 1 or 2 batteries. We've got one that holds 4, so you got to do it in 2 or 3 settings. So it's nice to just be able to leave them in the radio, plug the cord in, although you do have to order this separately. This does not come with the radio. Now this does not say Cobra anywhere on it, so you could probably just use any cord that has the right size tip and meets the voltage requirements matches the voltage and amperage output of this charger. So you can see here this one I actually ordered off of Cobra's website. It says input 100 to 240 volts, so 50 to 60 hertz. So you could use this in Europe. Obviously you would have to get an adapter to plug the American style plug into a European plug, but it can handle the different voltage and frequency of the European electricity system. It outputs 16 volts at 100 milliamps. So if you could get a charge cord that matches those specs and has this size tip, you could probably just go ahead and use that to charge your batteries if you've already got one laying around. But anyway, let's get to the radio itself here. On the front, you can see you've got several buttons across the face. You've got your normal power/volume and squelch knobs up top. You have a 50 ohm BNC connected rubber ducky antenna that comes with it. And on the side here, it has 4 buttons. The top one turns on the backlight for the screen. These 2 are your channel up and down, and this is your push to talk to transmit. Let's go ahead and turn it on here. And there you go. Now you can see the backlight goes off even when it receives a signal after 3 or 4 seconds. If it's dark and you want to see what's on the screen, you can just press this top button and it turns the backlight back on for a second. You got your channel up and down, your push to talk, and on the front here you can let's just go left to right. You can see top left here we've got a lock button. Now this one is actually kind of recessed and smaller than the rest of these, where these are actually pronounced. This one's kind of recessed. You actually have to use either the corner of your thumbnail or maybe like an ink pen or something to press and hold this for 3 or 4 seconds, and it'll beep, and you can see there's a little lock icon on the top right, and once the screen's locked, oh, there we go, you cannot change a channel, you cannot press any of these buttons. You can transmit, and you can adjust the squelch and volume and turn the unit off, but you can't change any of the settings on the radio. So let's go ahead and unlock it here. Alright, the next one is the Sound Tracker button. For those of you who don't know, Sound Tracker is a technology that Cobra has in a lot of their radios, and this is the first radio that I've ever personally owned that has it. It seems to me to help with audio in noisy or weak signal conditions. I've seen videos where people said it didn't do anything or it didn't help. In my experience, it actually does help a little bit. What it seems to do, it seems to be like a combined noise blanker and automatic noise limiter and something else that kind of changes the pitch of the received audio. I'll demonstrate it here in a little bit on one of the weather bands that's got kind of a weak signal. It actually, in some cases, it kind of makes the voice sound a little bit overmodulated, like maybe it's clipping part of it and making it a little bit louder, but it does sometimes bring in signals where you kind of have trouble understanding them and make them a little bit more intelligible. The next button over, now you can see these two buttons actually have double functions, and there's a function button on the right over here that you press to access these secondary functions. The bottom function is the one that will happen if you just press the button by itself. So this next button over is going to be your CB/weatherband button, and it goes back to CB mode. If you press function and then that button, it actually puts it into power save mode, which takes it from a 4-watt carrier down to about a 1-watt carrier. I did put it on a watt meter, and that's actually pretty close to what it's actually doing. It's just a little bit shy of 4 watts, which is normal because they don't want to get snagged by the FCC if it actually goes a little bit over. And it's just a little bit over 1 watt, right in the neighborhood of a 1-watt carrier in power save mode. So if you're really close to somebody and you just don't want to burn your batteries up, you can put it in power save mode, reduce your carrier strength, and still communicate but save battery power. Next one over is instant channel 9 and 19. Press it once, it goes to 9, twice it goes to 19, 3 times it goes back to where you were. This one is also your dual watch button. Now this one works a little bit differently. What dual watch does is it actually bounces back and forth between 2 channels. So like, let's say you're like a neighborhood watch or something, or you're in an area where there's important traffic you want to listen to on 2 different channels. You can set those 2 channels in your dual watch, and it'll actually bounce back and forth and monitor 2 channels at one time. So the way that works is you press the function button. Well, hang on, before we do that, first thing you got to do is set it on the first channel you want to monitor. So in this case, let's just say we're going to do channel 37, I believe that is, yeah, and 40. Alright, you press function, press and hold this until it beeps, and then we'll go up to channel 40, press and hold this, and now you can see it's going back and forth between 37 and 40. And what's it say there? Emergency. There we go. So now we're back out of it, and it's just monitoring channel 40. The last button over here is scan, and that's a full channel scan. What that does is it just scans all 40 channels until something breaks the squelch. So you do have to have your squelch set so that it's not picking up anything on a quiet channel to eliminate background noise and stuff. And you just press scan. And what that's useful for is, let's say you're in a new area, like let's say you're going up onto a job site and you don't know what channel the truck drivers on that job site are actually running on. You can just press scan, and it'll scan through all 40 channels, and when it hears something, it'll stop on that channel. And to continue scanning, when it catches something, you actually have to press the scan button again, because once it finds a signal and stops, that's going to be where you stay at until you press scan again. Alright. On the back side, you've got your battery cover, you've got a plastic belt clip. Feels pretty well made overall. It does have on the side here next to the power and charge ports, it has a microphone and speaker jack next to each other, and they actually sell a combination microphone and speaker unit that plugs into both of these at once, and you can clip onto like your lapel. So like I said, if you're a security guard or neighborhood watch or something, you can actually like clip this on your belt and have that little external microphone clipped up on your shirt. As with just about anything, you can also take this BNC antenna off and either purchase a better one, or you can use one of these adapters here to adapt it over to a normal SO239, so you can plug in the coax and use it either in your house, or if you have like a magnet mount antenna or something in your car, you can also connect that to it instead of the rubber ducky. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with the radio. It does what I need it to do, and it fulfills the purposes I wanted. It's kind of nice that it also has weather band, dual watch, channel scan, a backlit screen, a key lock button. It's got a built-in charge port where I can keep the batteries in it charged without having to remove them 4 at a time and charge them in my little cradle. It's got the sound tracker, which does help. So overall, I'm pretty pleased with the radio. Let's connect it over here to my 75 ohm passive antenna system. We're not going to transmit, obviously, but it's going to be perfectly fine for listening in on the weather band, and see if we can find a weak channel to demonstrate what sound tracker actually does here. So let's turn the volume up here. Oh, there we go. If I can get it on weather here.
This statement is for the following county: Lewis, Kentucky. The National Weather Service in Will 78 million. At Beckley, rain and fog were recorded.
Alright, so you can hear how that signal's kind of staticky and a little bit weak. That's with the sound tracker off right now, and I'm going to push the sound tracker on here in just a second.
In Tennessee, temperatures were between 70 and 72 degrees. At Bristol, a thunderstorm was reported. At Morristown, fog was reported. At Jack and Burrs, it was clear.
I put the sound tracker off again. And sound tracker on.
This statement is for the following counties: Lawrence, Kentucky, and the following counties in Virginia. Approaching highway
now, that's actually the good nearby channel. Now here's what I was talking about how sometimes it kind of makes a voice sound a little bit overmodulated. This is with sound tracker on.
This is for the following counties in Kentucky: Bath, Elliott, Estill, Fleming, Johnson, McLaughlin.
You get a little bit of static that wasn't there before. It does cut that out.
The National Weather Service in Jackson has issued a flash flood watch until midnight
That's sound
tonight.
tracker on.
Showers and thunderstorms with heavy rainfall will move across the region this afternoon and evening.
Off.
Locally, 1 to 3 inches of rainfall will occur with these storms.
So the sound tracker does help in some situations. Now it's not going to take a very, it's not going to magically make you able to hear people that you couldn't hear at all before. But if there is a signal in there that's a little bit weak, and maybe they're being taken out by white noise, it might help in situations like that. Maybe you've got some electrical noise nearby if you're sitting in front of a business or something like that. If you're looking for a decent handheld CB radio, and you're not, you're not worried about the fact that this costs $70 or $80 brand new, maybe 50 or 60 if you can find it on a deal on Walmart or something. This is actually a pretty good unit. I've tested it up to a mile or two away from the house, which is, plenty for what I'm going to be using it for. You're obviously not going to get near the performance out of this antenna as you would on a magnet mount or a base station antenna, but for what it is, it's actually a pretty good product. I did put some dielectric grease on the BNC connector up here to kind of keep water out of it, since I will be using it outside. The manual does not say that it's waterproof, so I wouldn't try submerging it or anything of that nature, but it is what it is. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, or suggestions, please feel free to post them in the comment section below. If there's anything else you want to know about this radio that I didn't go over, please, like I said, comment, send me a message. Also, I have another channel called East Kentucky CB Radio Operator. Some of you may have seen it. The icon is like a little radio tower. I've got a handful of CB radio related videos over there, but I'm thinking about going ahead and just putting any future CB radio videos back here on my main channel. I've got a lot more subscribers. I get more interaction from users on the videos that get uploaded to this channel, and I don't make CB radio related videos that often, so it doesn't really warrant having an entirely separate channel for those types of videos. But if you'd like, go check it out. Like I said, it's called East Kentucky CB Radio Operator, and the icon is a little white and black antenna tower. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is Marcus out. Y'all have a good one.